Are we live?
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hair's mussed up on your head. You picture the 20th Maine, and you're happy once again. Fight the battle against being slow with Little Brown Top Road.
Ah, yes. Delicious, delicious, delicious with notes of cacao, wildflowers, and toasted sugar. It's just so wonderful. It's called Little Ground Top. I got to tell you, Beth and Cindy.
You like
Debbie
it?
in the back. Not only do I like it, other people do too. It's been flying off the shelves, online orders, through the roof. And I'm hearing back from people that got them that it's really good. They like it. And they say, not only do I taste notes of cacao, wildflowers, and toasted sugar, but also, like you said, Matt, black pepper and coffee. Right?
Well, I guess it's good that it has hints of coffee in it.
Exactly. Cindy, we have it in our Francais press, don't we?
We do.
And do you like it?
I do.
It is good, right?
It's very good. Yes.
I like it with heavy cream. That's what I do. Heavy cream. What do you put in yours?
Heavy cream, just a little bit of sugar. I can't decide how I like my coffee now anymore, but
She's having lactate
Lactate.
milk.
She's lactating?
She's going to do lactate milk. We're going
I'm
to talk
having.
about this.
Lactate.
I don't think that's the issue now.
Oh, no?
Oh. See, maybe it was just the stomach virus that we all had.
This was before that.
Well, maybe it was slowly building.
Yeah. Weeks upon weeks.
Yeah.
Slowly building.
Either way, ladies and gentlemen,
The coffee is great.
It is great coffee, and it's available in whole bean or ground. And you can go to addressinggettysburg.com/cafe to order your bags. And cafe, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, is spelled C-A-F-E. A lot of people don't know that. They spell it C-A-F-A-Y, and they're just wrong in this audience. So it's addressinggettysburg.com/cafe to order your bags today, or just stop in at Bantam Roasters during your next visit to Gettysburg. That's addressinggettysburg.com/cafe or Bantam Roasters at 82 Steinver Avenue. Little Ground Top for all your coffee needs.
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hair's mussed up on your head. You picture the 20th Maine, and you're happy once again. Fight the battle against...
The studio line costs us money, so use it. Call 717-420-1978 to join the discussion, ask a question, or whatever. Just stop us from wasting money on the damn phone line. Oh, we're back.
Yes, so if you're tuning into this second feed here, we had an issue with the computer yet again. I've had an offer to help with new studio gear, and and I'm deciding that July, since I cleared my schedule of recordings for July to catch up on bookkeeping and all that crap. Meetings and writing and all that other stuff. We're going to also revamp the studio, and I will take that man up on his offer, and we're going to get a new computer and everything. Everybody says go Mac, go Mac. I can't stand Apple, but
That's what Mark says.
everybody
too.
who knows better says go Mac.
That's what Mark has.
Oh, sorry, Sin. Go ahead.
It's okay. I used one for work a few years back, but it was actually better.
You know, but what'd you use it for? Just like
Everything. It was what I had for my job.
why is it that they're better? Why are they so much better? That's what I want to know.
I don't know how to explain it, honestly.
But everybody says that for video, you want to get a Mac. And so I'm like, all right, well, then that's what we'll do. We'll get a Mac.
Now, remember the programs that you use.
Oh, no, I know.
They
Everything's going to be
transfer over,
reversed now. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Now I have to learn a whole new system.
Well, some of them do both.
No, I know. No, they do. But what I'm saying is, like, Like here on my laptop, right? If I want to X out of something, it's over on the upper right-hand corner.
frustrating part, yeah.
But then I go to do that on a Mac. Oh no, got to go over here to the left because Mac's got to be so different. So that's,
There's a lot of aggression.
I don't like Mac. I love my iPhone though. Isn't that weird? Speaking of phones, 717-420-1978 is the phone number.
Was only
Call in. What? No one knows that it's out there yet?
No.
Okay, well, whatever.
What?
Maybe
You're
share it.
on the wrong one.
Oh,
I
Bethany.
think you're still on the old one.
Bethany. Oh, Bethany.
What's happening?
We started a new feed.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
tell me that.
Oh my God, there's 200 people on the new one.
No,
Anyway,
it's not.
call in. We'd love to hear from you, especially if you were at CWI. But if you weren't at CWI and you want to call in anyway, call in. Update on the Get Out of the Car tours. There is going to be no Get Out of the Car tour this weekend. I'm trying to get everything into compliance for August, September, and October. We will see. It's purely financial. But at that point, it's for this weekend, it was time and finances. And then for August, September, and October, it's purely financial. And that's going to decide things. So if you're in town, I know a lot of people came to town for the Get Out of the Car tour. And they are boycotting going to the park now, apparently. So they said they're not going to visit. And so that's 80 people that won't be visiting the park. But they're going to visit the town and
They'll
other
be living
areas.
history at COG.
There you go. You can go to the Children of Gettysburg Museum. You can go to the Foundation. You can go to these other places. Now, I'm not saying boycott the park, by the way. Let me just say this. I'm just saying this is what people are saying. Now, do I believe these people are going to follow through and do that? No, they're just being nice to me. But it's not actually being nice to me because that reflects poorly on me. So go to the damn park.
He's never happy. He's never happy. no
Well,
matter what
I
do.
can't win. That's the problem. No matter what I do, I can't win. That's,
Josh, if he goes to Linux, we'll never have a show.
Linux? No, I don't even understand. No. All the videography people that I've spoken to as advisors for what equipment to get in this new studio have said Mac. And we only use the computer for this stuff, editing and live streaming. So fine, Mac. I'll use a PC on my laptop at home, and I'll take this one here. I could still use it for other things. I could put this in my office at home, and I got the little laptop I can run around with and everything. Right?
Wow.
Thank you, Debbie.
This is intense. Very
So
intense.
anyway, that is the story there with the Get Out of the Car tours thusly. And that
Miss is still a thing.
well, Matmas is still a thing. Oh
Gifts
yeah,
can be
so,
delivered to the studio.
Right. So I know a lot of you were saying I brought gifts for Matmas. How do I get them to you? So the easiest thing to do is let's just meet for lunch at noon at ABC in the beer garden, and Cindy will get to that in the news as well with further details about what to wear and where you can put your presents. But no, that'll be so Saturday at noon. That's where we'll go. We'll go and have lunch there. If you're in town, you want to join us for lunch, have lunch. And then if you want to bitch about no tours, that's fine. Okay. Otherwise, is there anything else? Let me see. Is anybody call? Yeah, we got a caller. Let's see who is on the phone. The Great Six Questions Lens, it looks like. And according to the screener, it says he wants to talk about CWR. So we'll see what CWR is. Michael, you're on the air, sir.
Well, it's good to see the phone screeners earning his money there.
Yeah, I know. They charge me like an extra 3 cents a minute for the phone screener. Like you would think,
Civil War recruitment. I got it. Where were you?
Oh, good. All right. So what are your thoughts on CW? What are your thoughts on CWR, Mike?
Well, thank you, Matt, for getting me in there because I know who to thank for that.
Unlike some
people in the studio there.
Oh.
Mike's sucking up a little bit.
Mike, I thought we were friends. I made you go get my drinks throughout the entirety of the weekend.
That was hilarious.
You made Mike get your drinks?
did.
Seriously, like Mike
Yeah,
says, I'm gonna
she-
go get more
yes.
soda, and she goes, oh, me too. And she holds out her cup, and then she goes,
Like, you're going to do that for
like,
me?
yeah, you got it. And he's like, okay. And
I
she
take
says,
it you want-
thanks.
He goes, I take it you want something. And I'm like, yeah, thank you.
That's funny.
I'm a horrible person. We all know this.
So when you go to CWI, you get a meal card, and you go to the cafeteria for your meals, or the what do they call it, the food hall, or whatever the politically
The
correct
dining
term
hall.
is for cafeteria, dining hall. And they have. First of all, the flow in that dining hall is not good.
It's not.
it's
But man, they
terrible.
have
Oh no.
better food than York College does.
Really?
Oh my God.
No, the
well,
food
your
wasn't
college,
bad.
how many years ago? I'm sorry.
What-
Like, you're young. I don't know why this is not a nice question to answer.
13 years ago.
That's not bad. Okay. I was trying,
Well, I had to think.
Okay.
I honestly
so
had to
13
think
years
about it.
ago. It was better than the food 13 years ago. Well, I should hope so. They're,
Yeah,
I mean, it's still
we've-
they're still serving the same food. The
spices
exact
have
same-
improved since then.
yeah.
They used to call
Okay,
it the
so
scurv.
The scurf. What, Mike? Go ahead.
The entertainment value of being there was, one, sitting back and watching people navigate the flow, which was chaos incarnate, but also seeing people try to figure out the Coke machine.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
That's where I
will
was
say,
going.
It's not fun, though, because it wasn't, you'd touch a button and it would do nothing.
Right.
And then you'd touch it again, it would already start doing
Yeah.
what you thought it was supposed to do before. It was such a mess. I can only
It
hope
was
that
highly
because
carbonated too.
yeah, I can only hope because it was under construction that they're
No,
gonna fix
that's
the flow.
No. Well, maybe the
I'm hoping
construction
they're
will.
fixing the flow.
It
at
looked
least.
aesthetic to me. It didn't look functional work.
Well,
but
how many people were going? Where do I get a fork? I don't.
right.
Where do I
Well,
go
so
get a fork?
where do I get a fork? And then by the forks are cups,
but
but
no
the
drinks.
soda machine is a mile away. And then what else is? And then the coffee made sense that they didn't screw up. And the juices, but there were no cups by the juices. So if you wanted juice, you'd have to go get a cup from somewhere else, over by the forks or over by the soda. Now the soda machine had cups by it as well. But yeah, the soda machine is one of those digital ones with the screen that you touch the screen and it tells you what it wants, but it never did what you told
it
it.
wasn't sensitive enough.
No.
They
Did you
needed-
try the cereal at
No.
breakfast time? So I went to get cereal, and there's a milk machine,
Like with the
behind
udders.
it. No. It's like whole milk, skim milk, chocolate milk,
Yeah.
and somebody switched them
Oh,
or
God.
put them in the wrong. So I had chocolate milk on my
Oh, no.
Lucky Charm.
That sounds awesome.
It was awful.
I would have loved that.
The only way that works is if you got like Cocoa Krispies or Cocoa Puffs or something.
Yeah, like double
And even
chocolate.
then-
Exactly right.
No.
I got to
So no, and then the dessert is over by the pizza,
Yeah.
and then the pasta's in its own little island, and then then there's like
The ice cream is off against the wall.
where's the
cream
ice
is
cream?
in the dining area.
Oh, that's right. The ice cream is right behind
Yeah,
the
it was the
tables.
dining area.
And there was something you were going to get, and you came back and without it. And I said, "What happened?" You go, "They're making it to order as you're standing there."
Oh yeah,
Stir fry.
stir fry.
Well,
Oh,
they
right.
had
Oh.
it made to order everything. Like that was one of the things. So the omelets
The
were
omelets.
made to order, and then they did a stir fry, which in theory should be good, but not when you're trying to feed so many people so quickly because they were just 6 pans going, single serve, and there was a whole group of people
Yeah, I think when
waiting
you're-
for it to come out.
when you're serving college students that
Yeah.
come in at all times,
Right. They just
not all at
stagger,
once.
But
Yeah. it's easier to
Yeah,
do that.
It
didn't
worked.
work.
It worked for the omelets in the morning because
Oh,
they're
it
so
did.
Oh, yeah.
They're quick.
I remember when I was in college, our food hall, you go in the entrance, right? Mm-hmm. And you walk through on both sides of you, food. And then you go to whatever station you want and get whatever you want. And then it loops around, right? And then it opens to the tables.
Yeah.
And it's
York,
a,
York was kind of like that. It was like a row. You put your tray down and you just kind of went around
yeah,
a loop,
yeah.
and there was stuff there. But
Anyway, we're not complaining.
no.
No.
We just-
No.
Yeah,
I want to say what I really enjoyed about the weekend.
go ahead.
which is that it really was just a collection of Civil War nerds.
Yes.
And it didn't matter if it was a nationally renowned scholar all the way to me over here, Joe Schmo, helping out your podcast. It's that everyone together found their common interest, and they would converse, and it was just wonderful, laid back. It was fantastic. My introduction was going into the auditorium for the lecture about Benjamin Butler, and I enter the row sitting next to Eric Houston, and the guy next to me, of course, I just purchased Ronald White's Chamberlain book. I noticed this professorial looking guy sitting next to me, and I just strike up a conversation with him.
Uh-huh.
And it ends up being Ronald White.
Oh.
I'm holding his book in my hand, and I'm like, "Oh,
how often does that happen?" Yeah,
and that was the introduction to it. Yeah, that's just CWI in a nutshell.
Yeah,
it really is. It's really cool.
I will say it's fun even for those who may not be Civil War nerds.
Mm-hmm.
For the little bit that I got to experience it.
Preach on. What'd you like about it? So yeah, I'm interested to hear the non-Civil War nerd perspective. Now, for those of you who don't know, back in high school, Cindy and her friends were known for beating up history nerds and stuffing them into lockers.
In between band practices.
Yes, in between marching band practice.
You know it's bad when the history geek is even lower on the social scale than the band geek.
Hey, in my school, there was nothing cooler that you could do than be in band.
Yeah, well, your school had 30 people in it.
That's true, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, come on. All right, but no, so go ahead. I want to hear your perspective. You're not a Civil War nerd, but you went to it anyway. Before you started vomiting, what was your impression of it?
I don't know. Well, everybody that I met was exactly how you were describing. They were all very funny.
Yeah.
Most people that, not most, everybody that you introduced me to or that we spoke with, very funny.
Well, I only talk to the funny ones. The ones that aren't funny, I ignore. It's true. It's true.
But so I saw Ron White's talk, and he was very good. It's different types of topics that are not just battle centric. And so that's what I really enjoy about it. He kind of Pete does a great job, or I'm sure Ashley's involved in all of those people who help choose, what they're going to do. But they did a really, really great job with making sure it was diverse enough that it's not just about that. And so I think, whereas people may shy away if they're not 100% into something like that, like Eric Houston, for example, I think Melissa would have liked some of that stuff a lot.
Sure.
Maybe not going on all the tours that he did and doing the fast track and all of that, but as far as some of those talks, I think are very interesting and just totally different from what would be expected.
Well, and I have to say, Eric and I believe Casey Turbin as well, were both, I think, paid to be there.
They did.
And and they attended, but then they missed a lot of things that they might have wanted to go to help us out. And so that I really appreciate that.
Yeah, he said, I don't know if you're going to call in, Eric, if you're back on, but he had said he was so tired on Tuesday when we saw him. And he said that Monday was just, the fast track is such a long day between the tours and then the bus ride and then the classroom stuff. So it's a very, very long day.
Oh, the active track, yeah.
Oh, active track, sorry. Am I thinking Disney?
You are.
Yeah.
What did you say?
It's her version of
Fast
Disney.
Track or something.
Fast
No,
Track?
I'm not a Disney fan either, so don't know where that came from. But I know.
Don't say
not?
that
I
in
know.
front of Debbie.
And
And you?
Beth.
Oh my God, we're surrounded. Well, we're evenly
I
split.
mean, between Civil War and Disney, I am totally the odd man out here. So.
Yeah.
And we love you anyway.
That's true.
So yeah, he was very tired. He, there's all of that stuff that goes on for those who enjoy that stuff, but there's so much else that goes on.
Cindy's the
at the
person that
campus.
was there to make us look cool.
I don't know how good
I
of a
don't know.
job I do
Our
at
cool
that.
factor went down like 20 points when you left to go let Major out, and then you didn't come back, and it just went down from there.
It's true. We did kind of get nerdier. Is this Eric Houston on the phone with 6 questions as well?
This is Eric Houston.
All right, Eric, how are you?
You mean I am on with 6 questions at the same time?
Correct. We're doing a threesome here. We've got the three of us on.
Oh, well, I can check that one off the list now. Thank you.
Whose bingo card was that on?
Wow, I don't know. CWI this past weekend, hanging out with you guys, a threesome now. Like, wow, I can die a happy man now.
So what, Eric? What was your thought on CWI? Because you did both. You helped us, but you also went out on the active track. You went and did things. So because you paid to be there, you stayed in the dorms. So what was your the word?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I was really glad that I did it. I only did the active track for one day. The second day I skipped it to help do some recording, which I was really glad I did because that's when I got to see Laura Orr do the battleship thing, which then led to our great acting career.
Yeah, actually, Eric, there you kind of earned yourself title of producer of that video because you made that happen. You went to her lecture, which is funny because so I gave Eric a recorder that you plug a lavalier mic that goes on your collar or whatever, and it's just and it goes into the recorder, and then you put the recorder on your belt or your inside jacket pocket or something like that. And so I went to listen to Laura's, and you hear him talking to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, whatever, whatever works for you guys." And he goes, "Okay, I'm just gonna go and check over here," and then it turned off. I know, but it worked out because hers was visual. So and then not only that, but she didn't do a lot of the talking. She had other people reading things, so the mic would be on her. So it wouldn't have worked out anyway. So it worked out fine. But we have video, like I was explaining.
I thought you
before.
were going to tell me that he tried to position the mic himself or something like that, and you caught it on audio.
What?
That he was talking to her about positioning the microphone. I gotta move this over here. It works best when you know what I mean.
Oh, he was getting nasty with her.
Yeah.
What kind of man do you think Eric is?
I love Eric.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, really.
Listen, you made fun of me the entire weekend. I don't even want to hear it.
You did, Eric?
Well, there may have been some, but it wasn't excessive. Instructions on what it is, because we had a lot of attendees on the active track that probably shouldn't have been out trying to walk for 16 hours.
16
the
hours of
one
walking.
with the wheat field that you were talking about is the one Cecily was talking about on Tuesday, and same type of thing that some people couldn't.
Yeah.
People don't
just
police
couldn't
their own
make
health.
it.
Yeah.
Back because
We
it
have
was
the
such
same
a
problem.
long walk from where they can't drop them off in certain places. And
Right, yeah. So that is a good thing to do. And you know what? I remember when we had when I worked with Getty's Bike, and that was always a thing that surprised me. And so I finally put it in the confirmation notes at the very top in all caps.
You're riding a bike.
Know your own limitations. This is a battlefield. Battles were fought over high ground. There are ridges. There are hills. Know what you can do, because people would come, they would go out, and in the first mile, because the location is in the parking lot at the bus lot, right? Well, because of the access to safety, the best way to go is out the Tawnytown Road exit, and so within that first mile there until you get in the park or whatever, half mile, it's uphill. So you weed out a lot of people right then and there. 5 minutes after the tour leaves, a couple people come back and they want a refund. And I'm like, no, we told you, no, know what you can do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
First event that I ever planned for the foundation, I had a guy go down with a heart attack. The very first event. So it was I learned very quickly, people will not police their own health.
No.
That you have to kind of look at them and go, honey, this isn't for you.
Yeah, I understand. You want to do something. You've always wanted to do something. Here's your chance. I'm going to do it.
I think, though, that people just think that they can.
They forget that they're not 25 anymore.
Yeah. I mean, so it's like baking, I have a vision of how something's going to come out and you think it should be easy. And you're like, I don't understand why it doesn't look like that. It's the same thing. You think I can ride a bike. What's a little
it's a
hill?
bike, yeah.
If I got to get up and walk it up,
You used to ride my bike all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You're 53.
And, big round top, it's just a suggestion. It doesn't actually mean big.
Yeah, okay. Well, people do. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say this. I wanted to add one other thing. The absolute best part of CWI that I don't know that this could ever be duplicated. Yeah, I had to be really lucky to see this. Sitting next to Mike Lentz while watching speakers up on the main stage.
Yes.
Pretty much.
It was like watching, it's what I imagine Ezra is like when he's sitting in the crowd watching a dinosaur come out on stage. And he's like hopping in his seat and he's shaking and he's clapping and he's so super excited. And he's like, every time they say something, he's pointing and he's nodding. And it was just, and it was on. Now, the best thing was, and I say this to not tease, not make fun, because it truly was like just pure enjoyment in him sitting there watching this happen. Yeah, and it was neat to see.
Eric, that absolutely can be duplicated because this is what Mike does. He, like everywhere all the time. I have a GIF or a GIF or whatever, however you pronounce it, that I took of him when we did an evening with the painting with Sue Boardman several years ago.
I didn't even know him then, and I remember this. Yeah,
we were down on the diorama. You get to go down on the set, and I took a picture of the group. Everybody's kind of all looking around, and Mike is wearing an Argyle sweater vest, and he's got a notebook tucked under his arm, and he's looking around, beaming. I mean, this big, bright smile, so happy, looking up around. Back and forth real quick, and he's shaking his arms like he's shaking two soda cans, right? And I'll send it to you because I took like 3 seconds of it from a video of him doing it for like 30 seconds, maybe not that long, but like longer. And you're right though. We don't mention this to make fun of it. It's nice to see. Somebody enjoys something
that much
that they wet their pants.
Wow. That explains it. Now I was wondering why the side of my pant leg got wet.
To be fair, I haven't wet my pants since Tuesday, so I'm doing good. Okay.
Tuesday.
Oh my
God. All right. Well, hey guys, thank you guys. Thank you guys very much. It was a great week. I'm glad I'm glad beyond glad that I did it, and can't wait to do it till next year. And definitely recommend it to all the other listeners. It's worth doing.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Well, thank you for your help, Eric. I appreciate that, and Mike as well. And it was great to have you guys. I'm glad I was able to get you in there. Once again, Matt, the hero. So thank you very much, guys. I will talk to you later. Gerald is on the air all the way from, I believe, Australia. And he wants to talk about mountainous, according to the screener.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello. How are you?
Glad that you're feeling better.
I am.
Here we go.
Here's a dial tone.
Dials and gets down to his work.
What's he say?
Tra la 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 la. Grant makes fun of Matt. Tra la 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 la. Calls him bald and fat. Tra la 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 la. He tries to make Matt cry, but he never wins.
Matt's an awesome guy. I always have to double that one up.
He now calls it just to hear his theme song.
Yeah, right.
That's better than anything Money and Cigarettes put out.
That's true. We never put anything out. That's why.
I have to say, Matthew.
Yes, Grantley.
I have to say, Matthew, that this show is really branching out. You know, now you've got threesomes and Jeff Sashara.
A swing and a miss.
Wait, I didn't know what you said. I didn't hear what you said.
Try that. Just say it again.
No. Let's not.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Try it again, Grant.
No, I don't repeat jokes. You only get little bits of genius at a time.
We fell short there.
But my reason for calling, Matthew.
Yes, Grantley.
Is obviously I won't be there for your important date.
Matt Day, of course.
And yes, and a man only turns 50 once.
You wish.
And you know, we all know that you're dreading that number.
I am.
But I was wondering where I could send a gift.
He's such a dork.
Did he hang up?
That was it. Oh no, there he is. He's there still. He got cut off. Go ahead.
No, I have a serious gift I want to send. It's not a prank at all.
We'll send it to the studio.
What, the museum next door? I don't know.
No, that's the museum next door. We're in the studio. Find the studio address, and you can send it.
Okay.
Shoot me a private message. I'll send you the
quickly.
address. Yeah.
Okay. I'll get out of here quickly, but I've got a joke for you.
Go ahead.
Oh, jeez.
What's the difference between a porcupine and Matt Calorie?
What's that?
One has hair.
He's gone, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, now he did it.
Yeah.
Oh, Grant. I mean, let's just
never know.
No, we're never going to know that. Okay, well, here we go. We're going to know this right now.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling, with current events and sidewalk conditions.
A new Gettysburg Black History Trail is launching this month and will paint a picture of Gettysburg's Black heritage.
Historic Gettysburg Hotel finished renovations and rebrands after 2 years of shenanigans.
Another planned development for Gettysburg will tell you all the details that you need to know.
Seminary Ridge head honcho Pete Mealy moves to a new adventure. All this and more in today's news.
All right. What is in the news, ladies?
Did you want to read that first?
The board of directors of Seminary Ridge Historic Preservation Fund. All right,
give it a little feeling.
Here's the sad news. A very sad news. I had a meeting with the fella yesterday, and we had two reasons to meet. And this was what he opened with here. Pete Mealy, our dear friend, our good friend, our buddy, who I've shared many laughs with, is moving on to greener pastures here.
Not greener, just
that's
different.
That's it. Dateline, Gettysburg, PA. The board of directors of Seminary Ridge Historic Preservation Foundation has announced the resignation of President Peter Mealy. That's Italian, so I don't know why I was doing an Irish accent. Effective June 30th, 2024. After being hired in 2013 as a visitor service assistant, Mealy successfully directed the Education and Operations Department and served the last 4 years as executive director of the Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. Pardon me. Quote, I arrived in Gettysburg in January 2013 to reinvent myself as a public historian, recalled Mealy. In those early days, I dreamed of working at the new museum on the Ridge, but I never imagined that I would actually have the honor of helping to open the doors of that iconic historic building on the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg. Nor did I ever think I would have the privilege of constructing the museum's educational curriculum and managing its operations. And I certainly did not, is there anything you imagine, Pete? And I certainly did not expect to be called upon to lead the organization To that budding public historian from 2013, the last 11 years have been nothing short of a dream come true. Mealy has accepted a new position at Susquehanna National Heritage Area in Wrightsville, PA. An interim leadership team will see the organization through its transition and search for a new president and executive director for the Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. Peter, we wish you the best of luck. This is a great move for you. I'm very happy for you, my friend.
So am I.
And I am going to miss seeing you as often as I see you now because of your association with the seminary. But he's not leaving the area fully. He's still living here, so I will obviously get to hang out with him.
And he better be there for trivia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The yes. And now Pete's not going to be there. So now Cody and Rob and I are going to have to do it sans Peter. Sans Peter. It's going to be a sad, sad day when we get together to do that. That'll be in August, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. All right, girls. What else is in the news? Do you have any happy news? My God.
So the brand new Gettysburg Black History Trail is launching on June 26th. 11 locations on the self-guided trail. I wrote that wrong. I apologize.
Sound it out, Cindy.
I put train. It's not a train, apparently. Paint a picture of Gettysburg's Black heritage. Guided by a digital trail, users will be able to walk in the footsteps of local historical figures. Some of the Gettysburg locations on the trail are Gettysburg National Cemetery, Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, and Thad's Place, home of the Thaddeus Stevens Museum. The Gettysburg Black History Trail is a result of a partnership among many different organizations in the area. The trail guide will be hosted on Destination Gettysburg's digital platform, along with its Pour Tour and Crop Hop trails, which if you don't have that app yet, it is the coolest thing.
What is it?
The Pour Tour and the Crop
Tour
Hop.
and the Crop Hop.
What's the crop top?
So, it's a crop hop. And what
Hop.
I was telling you about I check in at the farmer's market when we get there, and you can get discounts.
Oh, yeah.
Vendors and
Okay.
things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it'll be actually one of them on that app, so users can sign up for their free digital passport starting on June 26th at blackhistorytrail.com. So take a look at that, because that will certainly be.
I think this is
something
long
great to do.
overdue.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear this. We've done several shows on Patreon about Black history in Gettysburg. John Hoptack has done a lot of lectures and programs somewhat related to either Gettysburg or Adams County Black history. Deb McCausland has been on the show talking about that stuff. And it is fascinating because it's like a parallel world going on. And it's a part of American history that has not really been included in the full story.
I think for a long time people thought, no one would be interested in this. And they're very quickly finding out that is not the case.
Who thought that?
I think people, like if you were back in, especially like the 60s, 70s, early 80s, I think that was a genuine interpretive feeling that people were like, it's not military history. No one's going to care about this.
I don't know if it was
full circle.
I don't know if I would say it was that nobody thought it would be interesting. I think they didn't think the battlefield was a place for anything other than battle. And the thinking on that has changed
100%.
when they opened the new visitor center. And I think the thinking behind it, a lot of people I remember didn't like it at the time because they thought it was, getting
away from the story.
Yeah, guilt trip and all that stuff. But those people have a very small view of life and the world. I think it's a great point in that most people don't know anything about the Civil War, and if they visit a Civil War site, it's most likely going to be here. So you got to hit them
with everything.
And while it can be overwhelming, I do hear from a lot of first timers who are not history people that
where do you even start?
This is too much, almost. Too much. When you go through the gallery, let's say, you start at the colonial era and move all the way through, and the issue of slavery and everything. But I think it's great because you should put the battle in the context of the war, and So, yeah, I think that might have been really why they didn't do this stuff in prior generations, is because they, it was like, well, a battlefield is a battlefield. So you talk about the battle.
True. Now,
but this isn't the battlefield. This isn't the park doing this. This is a local thing. Yeah.
Now, I was talking to Jean Green. We were out at the Lincoln Cemetery last week. And
you have to introduce me to her. Everybody keeps saying I need to meet her.
I love her.
Okay.
But anyway, she was talking about the Lincoln Cemetery and about how there's one section of the cemetery where
why don't you put her in touch? Sorry. Why don't you put her in touch with Cindy and get her on the show? Okay.
We can do that. So she was saying, like, there's one section of the cemetery that doesn't have any tombstones. And I kind of knew this story, so I purposely asked her about it. And because they had gone and done the ground penetrating radar and had found that there were graves there in that section without the stones. Actually quite a bit of graves there. And at one point in time in the 60s, the national park, used that area as extra parking.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Was it not fenced in?
No, back then it wasn't.
Wow.
And so, when they had the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg, they needed extra parking, and here's an open spot.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. And it goes to show you that there is, and her and I had been talking about the fact that, like, for the Children's Museum, a lot of people come into that museum. Not a lot. There are people that have come into that museum and have said to me, there's only white people on this board of the 6 main characters that we talk about and we have to
at COG.
Yeah. And we have to talk to them about the fact that, yes, that is 100% true, but it's not because we were being like, we don't want that.
Right.
It doesn't exist.
So who were we talking about the other day about this? We were having a conversation with somebody about this. Jill Titus. We were talking with Jill Titus at CWI about it. And
she wrote that book, Gettysburg, 1963.
Correct.
And highly recommend that book.
Very interesting.
It's also talks about race and town and stuff like that, but it's a whole different perspective of looking at this place.
But, the other thing, speaking of Jill's book there, and I believe there is a part where she mentions how the reenactment committee or the Centennial Committee, whatever they call themselves, when they were coming up here to plan for the reenactments and all the events that they were going to have, they had to go in and ask local business owners to take the whites only or colored fountain or whatever
stuff
signs
down
out of the establishment until the events were over. Mm-hmm. And luckily, I think most, if not all of them, did not put them back up. Mm-hmm. But I think that also kind of plays into why it's taken so long to see this. Mm-hmm. People's attitudes had to change.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, that's the civil rights movement at that time. So, I think it's about time. I'm glad I'm alive in the period when that's happening, because it's more stories and more people to learn. But to your point about COG, though, that we know of Black children who had experienced things, but we don't have their accounts. Mm-mm. So we don't really know. And I remember the idea of a composite character came up, but then you're like, well, no, we're a museum. Like we're history. We can't, we're not a movie. We can't make a composite character.
And I am a 38-year-old white woman from Clarion, Pennsylvania.
Right.
What the hell do I know about any of this?
No, this is the time where we're starting to learn this stuff. How do we know?
There's nothing I could say or put together that would accurately depict what a Black child in 1863 experienced in this town during the Battle of Gettysburg. There's no way I could do that without their own words.
Right.
And it's ungodly sad that we don't have that.
It is.
I wish.
Yeah, the only thing we have are white people's accounts of them reacting to the Confederates coming to the area. Yeah. And who knows? I know Tilly Pierce's, if you read Tilly Pierce's account, she writes the way they spoke.
It's not pleasant.
It doesn't
to
translate too well these days. Like you know what I mean?
Even Mary Warren, who lived on Middle Street, on West Middle Street, and she was like in her teens. She talks about that her family took in the black wife of the preacher. Never mentions their name, never mentions what church, but you can assume based off of what was around in the area.
Investigate.
But like these people are in these accounts, but their names are lost to history.
Right.
And so you can research it and figure out who they were, but
You know what, though, might be interesting? Because a lot of them left and never came back, right? Where did they end up? Maybe there's accounts there, and we haven't found them
yet. Yeah.
But we don't know where they went,
Yeah.
right? I don't think we know where most of them went. They just got the hell out of Dodge.
Wouldn't you?
Of course. Not complaining. I'm saying it's what you do.
And, I tell, when I was working at COG, we would have kids come in, and when there was a school group, we would do a formal tour because otherwise they would frenzy and not really get anything out of it. And so I would talk about that. Like, if you left, you had the choice. If you were a white citizen of Gettysburg, you had that choice. You could choose to stay or go. If you were a black citizen of Gettysburg, you better get the heck out of here. Yeah. There was no choice to that.
Right.
And
it was wise of them to think that way, because we know that, Jenkins Brigade and probably other units were rounding people up and marching them down into Virginia to be sold into slavery. And these people were born into freedom. Yeah. They'd never been down south, many of them.
Yeah.
And it's a horror show. Yeah. Like, it's really a terrible scene.
And again, something I have never experienced. I could never put words into a child's mouth, a composite character's mouth, to say how that would have felt.
But a composite character would also feel like pandering.
Oh, 110%.
Right? Like you're making something up just to have something visual there that, like it yeah. But I'm telling you, now that people are interested in looking,
I'm hoping. I pray all the time. I'm
maybe not.
Please,
maybe
somebody
not,
find something.
Maybe not before you retire, but like at some point, this stuff is going to come to the surface. There's got to be newspaper accounts or diaries or letters left behind in other towns where these people fled to and remained. I know there is. Someday.
And as collections and stuff become digitized, I'm sure things will become
It'll be easier to
available.
Find. Yeah.
But until that happens, it's an underserved part of our historical narrative.
So I'm glad this is happening.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, good. When is that again? Give me the date.
June 26th.
June 26th. Ah, a momentous day, because that's when Whites Comanches came into town. Confederates. All right, what's next?
The Gettysburg Hotel, downtown square of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, has recently completed a renovation, a rehabilitation of the building. If you have been in there recently over the past 2 years, you would have seen, sorry for our appearance, we're in the process of a renovation sign.
Yes.
Things like that. And they're unveiling their historic look. And this is what makes me a horrible person, because I was reading this and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then it says the newly renamed Hotel Gettysburg dates back to 1797 and received a complete overhaul. I thought it was already called Hotel Gettysburg.
No, you didn't.
I did.
The Gettysburg Hotel.
But I thought in their, like, that's what we call it. But I thought in their
you thought
marketing
officially
and stuff,
it was
they
Hotel Gettysburg?
Hotel Gettysburg. So I was wrong there, and now I'm learning and I'm expanding my knowledge. All guest rooms and public spaces were renovated, and a sign with a not so new name brings the hotel back in time.
So they've changed it to Hotel Gettysburg. Okay.
And then, did you know this? And I did not.
I knew it.
They're going back to their roots and the name Hotel Gettysburg as it was in this location from 1890 to 1864.
From 1790 to 1864? Or
1890 to
1964?
1964. Okay. Is that what I said?
I think you said 1864.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But did you know it was briefly a residential apartments?
No.
Yeah.
When?
That's what it says. It says the hotel has gone through various names and was briefly used as a residential apartment until a fire destroyed the building in 1983. It was rebuilt as a hotel and reopened in 1991 as a Best Western.
You're kidding me. I remember the Best Western.
Yeah, I remember that. before becoming an independent hotel in 2012.
Wait a second. Those were apartments?
That's what it says.
Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you know that?
Because I knew, so the previous general manager from many years ago worked for my company.
For your company. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Could you imagine?
No.
No.
That is not something I would ever want. I wouldn't want to live on the square.
No. I
With the
wouldn't
amount
either.
of traffic and people and
Yeah.
shenanigans.
You know, it's funny, when you learn about how the town that you're used to was something completely different, and then one day it'll be something completely different from what it is now. And people in future generations will be like, wait, it was a hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a picture going around online recently, and it may be on Past and Present, but of the town in the 60s. And it's showing like the Wills house and that kind of quadrant, the square.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed it to Mark, and I was like, look.
It was a pharmacy.
Well, you can't really tell that from this picture. But, I'm showing it to him, and he goes, where is that? And like he didn't even recognize
totally
it.
different, yeah.
Yeah. So that to me is fascinating.
Yeah.
That it can change so much, but yet still be the same.
Still be the same, right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grant brought up a good point about the last conversation. He just says, no Greeks either?
You don't have any
No Greek
children in
kids?
that
No Greek
children's
kids.
museum.
And he also points out that there are no voices from the Australians from Gettysburg.
Oh, speaking of,
Yes.
when Francis and Rebecca Joe were
Francis from Australia.
were on there, we asked her why.
Why is Grant the laughingstock of Australia?
No, that is not what we asked.
Okay.
We asked why, as an Australian, she was interested in the Civil War. And she said, and I didn't know this either, that a lot of Confederate people moved to Australia post-war.
They heard about all the shrimp on the Barbie that they eat down there.
Yeah. And that there's a thriving Civil War community in Australia.
I know.
I was shocked by that.
It's fascinating.
I thought Grant was a once and done situation.
No, I mean, I've seen things online from Australians who are interested in the Civil War, but it always fascinates me when foreigners are interested in our Civil War. It's our squabble. Like, what do you care?
But I think it's the time period. It's the mystique of the whole thing.
It's the romance of it. It's the pageantry, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
The hoop skirts.
The hoop skirts. The plumed hats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. What else you got?
All right. So there's actually 2 large residential commercial projects moving forward on York Road in Gettysburg.
Great.
Not just one. So
can you repeat that on where it is?
York Road.
Yeah, like the main road.
The main
York
road.
Road.
So we're talking about
in Gettysburg.
York Road, meaning Route 30, out of town, not York Street.
Correct.
Which is in
but
town.
Still.
But no, I know where this is going.
Yeah, Upland Township. So the preliminary plan for Granite Lake, it's a subdivision of single-family homes and townhouses, will be going behind the giant food store in Gettysburg. It was granted conditional approval by the Strabane Township Board of Supervisors on Monday. This was last Monday, I believe, because this came out right after our show last week. So that's why we didn't chat about it then. The layout of the planned neighborhood is centered around an existing body of water that will be located behind the Gettysburg Marketplace Shopping Center, currently anchored by the giant grocery store. The majority of the 256 units will be single-family houses. The main access route will be Natural Springs Road, which will be expanded. Phase 1 is 60 units, and logging on the site has to wait till October because Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection restricts tree removal during certain times of the year because apparently it's a summer habitat for a protected species of bat over there. Super
we
fun.
could get rid of bats. Who wants those, right?
They're very important to the environment.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
As much as we don't like
so
them.
important. Yeah.
And then the second development, which is also large in the same general area, it's called Reserve at Rock Creek Development. So that is located at 1115 York Road between Marshall's Plaza and Giant. It's to be developed by Metropolitan Commercial Development out of Wyomissing. Proposed plan includes 11 multi-story apartment buildings totaling 226 units, a clubhouse, a pool, a shopping center, and a 20,000 square foot grocery store, which we know is going to be Aldi. They've already started that. This is on the Camp Letterman ground. So that is what is going there.
Wait, say that again. What's all in there?
There's 11 multi-unit multi-story apartment buildings, which will total 226 units, a clubhouse and a pool, and then the shopping center, and then Aldi is the anchor.
Are there that many people that want to move here?
Yeah.
I mean, so 226 apartments and 256 homes.
People are willing to commute to Washington and Frederick and all these places, and because it's cheaper to live here, but they don't realize that they're causing it to become more expensive by moving here.
And then the other thing that a lot of people are talking about is because, people want to retire here.
Yeah.
But that's going to cause quite a strain on the non-existent healthcare system that's in this area.
No,
right now,
it's going to be an effing nightmare. Yeah. We're going to have to move again before long to get away from all that.
Yeah, it's not too far from. Well, it is.
No,
it
isn't. No, it's not. But I mean, where we are, Amble Brook is not far, and we're surrounded by these solar farms.
We're all moving to Bonneville. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's what I'm not telling you where, because everybody's going to go there again. It's you got to go west.
Well,
West is the
Bonneville's
best.
not bad.
Although you
don't go to
talked
Fairfield
about
because
Fairfield.
we talked about that last week.
they're just ruining all the nice places. Why can't we just let things be?
I can't believe that in all honesty, the local municipalities haven't gone, hey, whoa.
Because
this is
it's the money.
I guess.
It's 100% greed.
Yeah. Well, Strabane, I mean, Strabane's already ruined because of Walmart and all that stuff. That strip of stores and everything like that.
You're never going to get out there.
Which was a huge mistake.
Why?
Of how they did it. There's no anchor store there, so who's going to want to go? It's
what, at Walmart?
No, in the shopping center where apparently the Super Walmart was supposed to go originally.
Oh, yeah.
And then they built that small strip, and there's nothing anchoring.
Like where Panera is.
Because it's not like what's in there. Oh, I think there's a mattress store. Like nobody can tell you exactly what's there because nobody goes there.
There's a mattress place, a nails hair place, a Panera Bread, and a
Taco Hell.
No,
a CBD
tobacco
place.
shop.
A CBD place.
Oh, and then there's CVS. Yeah.
That's where Walmart was supposed to go.
Yeah, the
Super Walmart.
Yeah.
Like 15 years ago, Walmart wanted to move over there when it was nothing, and they wanted to build a super Walmart, and everybody was like, "Yeah, groceries, blah 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 blah," and then Strabane's like, "No," and then now they've sold out everything else.
Said yes, but that there was a lot of back and forth, and so Walmart pulled out. So I don't know what
they made it impossible for Walmart. Not impossible, but they made it unenjoyable, I guess, unbearable for them to deal with, and they said, "Fine, forget it." And so maybe they learned the lesson there now, and they're letting anybody come in and rape the land. Okay. Well, that's what they're doing. It's a shame.
So, in other news this week, the Pennsylvania Memorial Observation...
I just, to the people in this area, the powers that be in this area, like, I come from New Jersey, okay? I come from New Jersey because New Jersey has raped itself. And you're doing it, and guess who's going to come down here? You're ruining the area. You're ruining it. Go ahead. Just think. I know you're thinking, the tax base. Well, great. How about you learn to manage the money that you get, and then you won't have to expand the tax base, and you can still have a beautiful area.
Yeah. Okay. And I hate saying this because I used to live there, but have you ever been to York? Mm-hmm. It's terrifying.
Exactly. Right.
Okay. So on June 11th, the National Park sent out a whole bunch of text messages about the Pennsylvania Memorial Observation Deck being closed.
Oh.
It was closed due to the bronze door at the top.
What happened?
It was damaged due to excessive wear.
What does that mean?
I think somebody hung on it.
A little kid hung on it and swung.
Stupid. And so it was closed overnight until about noon the next day.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, the Pennsylvania Monument is a huge thing. Like a lot of people go up there. A lot of people, it's one of the main stops on the Battlefield Tour. It's a big deal. Please don't hang on the stuff or like that kid that fell off of it a couple years ago. Like go over on the other side.
Don't climb over the other side.
The rest of us would like to be able to see it.
Yeah.
And if you keep doing stuff up on the observation deck, they're eventually going to close that like they did with, parts of Statue of Liberty.
Oh.
that lady.
For those not watching.
Statue of Liberty, yeah. Statue of Liberty is holding books. She's not holding a pair.
I was like, whatever.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
So,
No, she's not holding books. She's holding one book.
yeah.
No,
So-
but she's not doing this. This is a different thing that you're holding. She's doing this.
We're looking this up right
All
now.
right, whatever.
But anyway,
She doesn't have an upturned
if
palm.
you
Yes, if you.
don't stop hanging on it, they're going to close it, and then no one's going to be allowed up there, and I'm going to be not happy.
Ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, how about like parents teach their children to respect things? And you just don't climb on monuments, you don't climb on cannons.
Now,
and
do I know
everybody's
for
happy.
sure that that's what happened? No.
No, but we know, right? We've been
All
around
right,
the block.
Statue.
We know
of
what happened.
Liberty.
All right, it's not that important, Beth.
I'm looking it up right
All right,
now.
go ahead,
I'm
look
looking
it up. What do you got, Sin?
So, another congrats actually to our friend Pete Mealy. We're congratulating him all over the place today. But he had a recent publication of his essay, The Eternal Light Peace Memorial, Gettysburg's Organic Machine, in the Pennsylvania History, a journal of Mid-Atlantic Studies, which is a big deal. So we're really super thrilled for him. So congratulations to Pete.
Grant points out they don't call it shrimp; it's prawns, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, that sounds like some kind of sci-fi
there's
monster.
a reason why we don't call it that here in the
Yeah.
United States.
It's just a gross word.
It sounds like you're eating
An alien creature.
an alien creature.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're eating prawns. Exactly.
Yeah,
it sounds like
exactly.
you're eating prawns.
Sure does.
In other Civil War news, University of Tennessee students uncovered a Civil War trench and artifacts during a parking lot removal.
Wow.
So just be aware when you are out on battlefield areas and you are doing stuff like they are out in there's all this building is happening, you're gonna dig stuff up.
Yeah.
So I was wondering about that. Like, are they just?
Yeah. They
They're
just have-
supposed to report that stuff, aren't they?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't-
you have to.
yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
human remains in any way.
Well,
shape, or
human
form.
remains or artifacts. Don't you have to get archaeologists out there to remove everything and study it and catalog it and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the Camp Letterman stuff, it's got to be.
You'd think they'd find something. I mean, that is. Now, don't quote me on this.
All
We need
right.
Fran Fayok out here.
Okay.
But I don't think they ever found where they buried like the limb pits or anything like that.
I don't know about that, but I know the bodies they removed and
Yeah, the bodies,
reinterred,
but I don't think
yeah.
I think the limb pits are still out there.
I think I feel like Chris Gwynn said something about that in his lecture last winter. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he did. Well, people can go and listen to it on your YouTube.
That's
channel.
true. Yeah, absolutely
Find out
can.
for sure.
So yeah, I would imagine that at a place like that, I'm sure it's been picked over the decades, but at the same time, there's got to be something as they're digging, down and they're scraping off layers of earth. They've got to be coming across stuff all the time.
You would think.
Well, they
I would
must
hope
already be
because
doing
that would
it.
delay everything.
Well, I mean, have you seen it?
I know
It's sad.
I've seen what?
it doesn't seem to be delayed.
Camp Letterman site.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
It's torn up.
Yeah, it's
so-
torn up. Any historical relevance that would have been out there is
It's
gone
gone.
now.
So actually, Peter Zach says, actually, no, private land unless remains.
As in, they
Oh.
don't have to report
If-
it
if
unless
it's-
there's remains.
Right. So
Well, limb
artifacts.
pits would need to be, but not
Yeah.
not
But,
artifacts.
if
I hope
not
they find the limb
buckles or
pits.
something
Not
like
belt
that, they don't
buckles or
have to-
Yeah.
whatever.
No, so they'll probably just all pocket that
Even-
stuff.
if they even recognize what it is.
Well, if we suddenly see an influx of that stuff on eBay,
Right.
we'll know.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Tennessee. Several University of Tennessee students uncovered history on the campus last week during construction. Their professor took them out into an area that was a parking lot that they were digging up, and they thought, okay, we know there's something here, but they wanted the kids to go out to do an archaeology project, and they found stuff, which is really cool. Whenever I was in school and we went out places, we were never actually allowed to dig. So this is actually kind of a neat thing. They were allowed to dig. They found an area where the soldiers had built a small fire, likely for warmth, a mini ball, a lead bullet. Oh, and they're telling you what a mini ball is. But they found a Civil War trench next to the museum. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, think about And it's kind of cool. There's some pictures here of it, and the students look like they're 5. I don't know if you can see it, but they're digging and doing stuff. So
they do look like they're 5.
Yeah.
I can't see because we don't have the monitor on here, but
what makes it so interesting to me is when you are doing an archaeological dig like that, there is procedure.
Yeah.
You have to do things in a grid pattern, and there's like a whole thing to it. And usually you think, okay, you're going to find a small amount of things, a smattering of stuff. Now, they knew there was something there, and it had been dug up because there was a parking lot on top of it. And yet they still found where they knew there were trenches. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That there's still some evidence of that there when there was a parking lot on top of it at one point in time.
I mean, look, life goes on. You do have to allow the living to, build and have their towns and all that stuff. But I don't know. I guess like all this development around here offends me because it's 2 reasons. One, of where it is, like kind of, and then the other is that I moved here to get away from all that stuff, and I was happy to live in what already exists. If I'm going to move here to get away from all that stuff and move into a brand new cookie cutter house, well, then I might as well just stay back in New Jersey where there's brand new cookie cutter houses all the time. Everywhere you go. Of course, they're like $500,000 more than what they are here. But the point is that I came here for the character of the place. Yes, it's a little cheaper, but it's got character too. And that's what's more important. Because once COVID hit, things aren't really much cheaper now anyway. So
well, and truthfully, they always go to places that have character, and that's the problem. Like,
and then it loses the character, and then they build stuff to make it look like the character of the place.
Exactly.
They destroy it and package it.
My favorite part of this is, guys, if you go to Clarion, Pennsylvania, they'd love to have your development. That's a dying town.
Right.
They would take you in a heartbeat, and you wouldn't have to pay anything.
Where's the closest
There's
highway?
Nothing near it.
Right.
But I'm telling you right now, like,
the worst thing they did was build 15.
Oh yeah.
That's why this was inevitable. Once the people who work in Washington and Frederick and all those other places, once they go, well, it's cheaper up there. It's only an hour and change. They're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
Yeah.
Eastern Pennsylvania is full of people from Jersey who thought the same way.
You're all going to move to Clarion. It's not full of anyone except for the same people that are all related to each other, and we're all still there.
But this is the thing, and with all due respect to Pennsylvania and Pennsylvanians, I only like about a 5-mile radius.
Have you ever been to Western PA?
Yeah.
You've been to around Clarion? It's beautiful.
I don't know. I've been around Clarion, but I've been out in the area around Pittsburgh a couple times.
Oh, well, then that's a completely different area.
I mean, like, a wide radius around Pittsburgh.
Don't confuse the two.
It's beautiful, but it doesn't feel like home to me. I feel out of place. Here, I feel at home.
There's a pace of life, too. When I go home, it's so slow. Mark hates it. And it's a completely
Because you start
different...
walking slowly?
No, you just you feel like sitting around and having a chat and sitting around in the living room and doing absolutely nothing that day is totally normal.
Yeah, but I love that, and
here.
it's the same here too.
It is the same here.
It is not as bad.
Well, maybe not as bad as Clarion, but
I don't think that's bad.
That is one thing that.
Well, then you would love it.
I noticed when I moved. I was like, it's like nobody's got a thing to do or a
someday.
No one's in a hurry.
That's what we need to do.
I love that.
Oh my God, field trip.
I do love it.
Field trip.
We'll talk about that at dinner.
We're going to go to Clarion.
Let's move on.
We'll do an off the air field trip.
Sounds good.
So just a couple of, business announcements before we get to events. The Adams County SPCA is full. So anybody local who's listening to this, you got to go and adopt a dog or cat because they're free right now. And they're doing...
Let's get Major a friend.
It's now through the 15th, which is what, 2 days?
Totally ignored that.
Right? Isn't it Saturday?
15th is a Saturday. Yep.
So it's tomorrow and Saturday. You got to get there. They're including spay or neuter, microchipping, flea and tick treatment, rabies and distemper vaccinations, a whole bunch of other things. So you can go to adamscountyspca.org for more information because you do have to have an approved application as well as it's by appointment only. So you have to make an appointment. So do that if you want a friend. No Major does not need a friend. And then Michaud Brewing Company, if anybody's familiar with that, out of Waynesboro, they're actually opening their second location here in Gettysburg this summer. It's going to be, they didn't announce exactly where, so maybe somebody knows where there's a storefront open, but new location will be on Baltimore Street right off the square. So a new brewing company coming this summer.
Right off
no
the
date
square.
yet. Yeah.
Trying
no
to
date
think
yet.
where it could be. Baltimore Street, right off the square. It's not where the cigar place was
No, there's
because
something
there's
in there.
something there now.
The
That's
record
the sweet-
shop.
Maybe on the corner of Middle and Baltimore. There is the wine place still there.
The wine place, JP, is still
Okay,
there.
that's still there. Oh, maybe where Ping's was. Is it?
Oh, they would give that up?
I don't know. That's just sitting there.
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
there's
maybe.
a lot of chatter about it. People seem to be happy. So it's
Good.
pretty popular in Waynesboro. So
Well,
you know.
good.
Yeah. And we're on to events.
Oh,
Okay.
events.
Do you have any events?
It's time.
There's Living
for
History at the
events.
Rupp House this weekend.
Okay, here's
The
some
officers for
event
the Union,
music
ladies
for
for the
you.
Union will be there.
Gettysburg Events with Bethany and Cindy. Wild, raucous, party time.
Have an adventure in Gettysburg with our events. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. The officers for the Union, ladies for the Union are going to be at the Rupp House this weekend with Living History from 10 to 5, Saturday and Sunday. So go out and see them. They're wonderful. And you can get a little bit of, immersion. Into the
Immerse
Civil War.
yourself.
Go ahead, Sid.
Immerse yourself in the Civil War.
Tomorrow, Friday, June 14th, is Adams County Library's 7th annual Fun Fest at Gettysburg Rec Park from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's a free event open to the public featuring food trucks, games, and activities. It kicks off Summer Quest, which is Adams County Library's summer learning program. And actually, you can go early because I know EJ Smokehouse is going to be there tomorrow, and they're starting at noon. So there will be people setting up early. So head on out there for a free event. Do you have
Keep
more?
going. My thing's
Okay.
not working.
Gettysburg Battlefield Double-Decker Sunset Tour is this Saturday, June 15th at 6:30 p.m. Enjoy one of the most beautiful scenes in America as you join Gettysburg Battlefield bus tours for the sun setting over the Gettysburg National Military Park and South Mountain. You can call 717-334-6296 for details and booking or visit their website, gettysburgbattlefieldtours.com.
Speaking of sunset tours, and don't ask me how this thought process worked, but Cindy got me an early birthday present, gave me an early birthday present after the show last week, because remember she was saying, I'm going to give you your present early because you're feeling sick. And it
wasn't because you were feeling sick. It was because you said that it would be great for CWI.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted you to have it.
But I
in
think you
case
felt bad for me
better.
because I was feeling sick too.
Were you sick?
We weren't aware.
No, the Walk Tallers need to make a song about that, like Colby's Marine song.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was sick. I don't know if you heard. And anyway, it was a 360-degree camera. 360
Oh, right.
camera.
Yeah, you did show us that.
And it's really cool, and I can't wait to not be able to take video with it on the battlefield without a permit to show you guys. So I'll go down to Antietam or something somewhere, or Harper's Ferry would be cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, so the PA Cider Fest is this weekend, Saturday, June 15th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the South Mountain Fairgrounds, which is in Biglerville. You can, there is tickets. You do have to pay for a ticket, and depending on various things about you as a human, the tickets are various prices. But you can get $10 off your ticket for purchase between now and
Later.
between the thing. If you purchase now, it's like a pre thing. So, but if you do decide to go, let me know how that is, because, I'm trying to get the foundation more involved in like community events. That's one we haven't done. So
Yeah,
I'd
that'd
like
be a
to
good
know more
idea.
about that one. All right. Continue, Cindy.
The Adams County Farmers Market has their Adams County Fairy Festival this Saturday at from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Gettysburg Rec Park. This Ren Fair-inspired event will feature fairy or magic-themed items, kids' activities, prizes, costumed entertainment, face painting, and more. Shoppers are encouraged to dress up in their most magical attire. Visit acfarmersmarkets.org/fairy-festival for more information.
Okay, you just stole my.
That's
I'm
interesting.
very sorry about that.
Go ahead, keep going.
Also,
It's
the
not gonna
Friends
find
of
that one.
Adams County Library are hosting a. I'm sorry. I was trying to wait for you
No,
to go.
it's okay. Go ahead.
No, you want to read it?
No, go ahead. No, I don't want to read it. I don't want to
Somebody
read it.
go.
ahead.
It doesn't, but just somebody go.
What time is it? It's like 7.
It's 8:15.
It's 10 o'clock the next morning.
Okay.
Dear God.
Go
All
ahead,
right,
go
so there's
ahead.
a book sale. It's at the library. Go visit it. And then most importantly, as we know, the Get Out of the Car tour was canceled. So this Saturday, lunch at noon at ABC. Be there or be square. Most importantly, it is Matt's birthday on Sunday.
It's not really. It's kind of a joke.
What does that mean? Your birthday is Sunday.
No, it is.
Your
but-
birthday's the 16th?
Yeah. Did you know that? Matt Day? You didn't know that?
It's Matt Miss.
Yeah. No. Forget it. Don't come out for the birthday. Come out to
No, come out to meet and greet. But
Gemini.
it is his birthday, so we're
Yeah,
wishing
come
you
out
a happy
to-
early birthday.
Right.
Do you know who you share a birthday with?
Yes. Claude Akins, Chet Atkins, and Addison Waller.
And Dallas Stallman.
Dallas Stallman.
I don't know who that is.
That's
You don't
my
know
dad.
Dallas Stallman?
No.
That's Bethany's dad.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't
Is
know
that is your
Dallas.
maiden name Stallman?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I now realize that because it's Stallman Yangling on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Got
no,
it.
that is my maiden name.
Okay, very
Bethany
nice.
Stallman.
So my dad, your dad, and me have the same birthday.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Are you comparing me to your dad? Oh my God, the things you've said about that man. Oh my God. Well, now I know. Now I know how you feel about me.
I love you, Amanda.
I know.
Okay.
All right, what else?
That's it.
That's it. All right, very good. Marie Bingman says she shares a birthday with Anus Young. So, I'm sorry. I'm not used to these progressives. Angus Young.
I share a birthday with Scary Spice.
Oh, God.
I share one with Princess Diana. So.
Do you really?
Mhm.
Well, don't go driving around with rich.
Intend to.
Really?
What?
Too soon.
Is it still? Oh, poor Diana. All right, well, listen, you guys, thanks everybody for watching. Sorry about the confusion before with the thing. You know, the feed, the computer froze, but, you know, maybe we won't be too long. And who's on next week, Cindy? Uh-huh.
Oh, next week.
Yeah.
It was
Is it
right
Casey? No, that's
hang
the
on.
week after.
It's the Gettysburg Academy B&B with Scott English and
Chaz
yay.
Fennel.
yes.
Now, okay, so Charlie Fennel. So Scott English owns the Gettysburg Academy. And we invited him on, and he said, yes, if Charlie Fennel can be there too. And we don't understand why.
No.
But
don't
we
have any
love Charlie,
backstory.
and Charlie's always welcome here.
Yeah.
So
Charlie went to Clarion University, just saying.
he did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which is no longer Clarion University.
Right, they changed
Yeah.
the name to Bethany Yingling University.
Exactly.
They're-
Bethany Stallman.
After
Yingling
she didn't go
University.
there.
Yeah, well, but she's Clarion's favorite son. So anyway, so Charlie will be on next week with Scott, and we're going to talk about the Academy. But with Charlie there, I don't expect we're going to do much Academy talking.
Nope.
So we'll just have some fun, and then you'll have to just go to the Academy because you had a great time because Scott thought to bring Charlie in. So that'll be interesting. And then Casey Turbin is the week after.
Aw,
He is,
Casey.
Addressing Winchester, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that and that. And then that's about it. So let's all go get something to eat.
Thank God.
I say let's just, you know what? I'm dying for some wings. Does anybody want to go to ABC and get some wings? What? I'll get boneless.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Debbie, where do you feel like going?
I don't know that we have much of a choice. I'm thinking that it's either going to be La Bella or ABC.
ABC.
So
All right.
if you're in the mood for
Yeah. I ate too much of that cafeteria food. I can't
If you're
have.
ready
if you're in the mood for wings,
if you're ready for wings,
I'll go to ABC.
All right, you ready for wings?
you bitches up for some food?
You bitches up for some wings? All right, we're going to go ABC and get some wings there. You guys have yourselves a great night. Sorry, I'm so exhausted still from last week.
Oh my God, were
I
you
was sick? I was sick last week, and then I had CWI. You guys have yourselves a great weekend. See you Saturday.
AG Today's opening theme is written and performed by Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band. Bumper music is arranged and performed by Billy Webster and sometimes Kevin McLeod. AG Today is produced by Matt Cowlery, Bethany Yingling, Debbie Jones, and Cindy Compton. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves.
Grant said, Diana really crashed the party.
Hotels. Speaking of patrons, maybe you'd like to become one. You'll find plenty of perks over there, not to mention hundreds of episodes that will help you further your Gettysburg and Civil War education. So go to patreon.com/addressinggettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
He said, wow, Gettysburg, wow.
Come on, man.
America's dead.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives.
Wow.
It's when you think about it.
Wow.
Grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
Oh, Jamie!
This concludes our broadcast day.
You know, bro. 3rd Battalion.